Hello and welcome to the 2021 PGA Professional Championship here at Blairgowrie Golf Club on the Lansdowne Golf Course. I'm Hannah Holden and we're here on the 18th green to watch an hour of live coverage as the players put their finishing touches to their final round. Right, let's get started. So we've actually got a change at the top of the leaderboard since this morning. Paul O'Hara is 3 under for his round so far and has taken a one-shot lead over Greg Hutchinson. So the 18th hole here at Blairgowrie is a 434 par 4. Now it's quite a tricky hole and is ranking the 3rd hardest on the course this week. And it's actually had the least birdies of any hole on the course so far in the tournament. The fairway actually pitches right to left from the tee shot, which makes it tricky to hold the fairway, and we have seen lots of players run out into the trees on both sides of this hole. Today the pin is tucked short left from the player's point of view, so if you're too far left on the fairway you can be blocked out by overhanging branches. He's done really well there to hold the green because we've seen loads of shots running through from that position where he just pitched the golf ball. It's really key to be on the fairway here so you can get enough spin and get that ball to stop, because the up and down from long of the green is quite tricky. Oh, he's been very unlucky to stay on the top of the slope there. We've got a 2-tier green here on the 18th and he's going to have a really quick approach down the green to the hole there. Make sure you're following the PGA social media channels as we get through to the final holes of the round today. The leaderboard will be updated on there and you can keep up to date with how your local PGA pros are getting on. Approaching the green now, we have group number 7, which is made up of Jason Levermore, Craig Shave and Michael Campbell. It was really unlucky there that didn't release more down the slope. It was played really nicely. Now all the players in this group are having a pretty good day. They're all under par. Levermore is actually doing the best so far and he is 3 under par for his day. That was really good for pace there, just dropped a little bit on the low side. There is quite a lot of break from where he put from there, because he's going straight down the side of that two-tier break in the green. Tantalisingly close on the last for birdie there. And another player falls to a bogey on the last. I don't think he'll be the first today in our coverage. Yeah, really good two-putt from where he was. Now the next group is made up of Ross Cameron, Andy Palmer and Michael Bullen. All three players are part of the PGA playoffs as well as the main PGA championship. And it is Ross Cameron who's going to hit into the green first here. Looks like it needs a bit more legs. Just finished short on the front fringe. Honestly not a bad miss to where the pin is today. That's a lovely approach there from Bullen as he looks to get one under par for the day with a closing birdie here. Palmer looked a bit frustrated with that, but all in all it should be a good position to get a two-putt and finish with a closing par. bit of a mixture in scoring so far today in this group. Ross Cameron is 2 under, 2 over, Andy Palmer is 2 under, and Michael Bullen is level par. He is the nearest to the pin here on this hole, so he could sneak an under par round with a solid putt here on 18. Really good lag putt effort there. It's going to make his par very easy. Slightly misjudged the speed there. Good news is he's left himself a fairly straight putt up the hill from there. So close, he'll have to settle for a level par, closing round. That's a disappointing closing bogey from such a short distance in the fairway. Bullen did finish the best of this group at 2 under par from the tournament and finished tied 19th in the playoffs event. It's all getting very tight at the top here in the PGA Championship. Paul O'Hara is still leading at 17 under, although his scores are being slightly slow to update. Second place is still Greg Hutchinson at 16 under par. Then we have a slight gap, and we have David Higgins, who sits 3 back at 13 under. Make sure you follow the PGA social media channels to keep up with all the action and the leaderboards throughout the day. The wind is starting to pick up here, and we can see that a bit in the scoring. We have had low scoring all week, but so far the lowest round of the day is only 3 under par. Jason Levermore is in the clubhouse with that already and has finished the tournament overall on 4 under. The next group coming through is group number 9. That was the 9:25 AM tee time, and it features David Copsey, Stephen Gray and James Ford. Now, James Ford actually won the PGA South Assistants and Trainees Championship in 2019. Now, where the pin is positioned today on the 18th green, it's easy for the players to get blocked out if they don't get their tee shot positioned quite in the right place. We can see here down the right of the fairway, Stephen Gray is blocked out behind the trees, and it looks like it is going to be him to play first into the green. It'll be interesting to see if he actually has a shot on target, if he has to chip out sideways, or maybe he'll have to bail out to the right side of the green. But there are plenty of bunkers lurking down there, so it's going to be interesting to see what his strategy is here. That is an exceptional shot from where he was. Hopefully it just takes that slope and moves down even closer to the pin. That's the closest shot we've seen all day from anywhere. Never mind from behind the trees. Next up we've got James Ford. Another excellent shot. The backspin killed him a little bit, but still a really good birdie attempt there. Next up is David Copsey. He's 2 over for the day so far, so I'm sure he'd love to finish with a birdie here. Looks good. Needs to go a little bit. Excellent shot. Those are 3 of the best approaches we've seen all day, never mind from one group. Still find it bizarre seeing the players take the pin out after we've had to leave them in the green for so long. Definitely a nice step back towards a bit more normality on the golf course though. So many people just leaving that just low. Surely we've got to see a birdie from one of these two. There has only been 18 on this hole so far all week, so definitely gaining some strokes here. And he's not hit it. Can't believe no one managed to convert a birdie there. Just shows you how tricky this 18th green is in that pin position today. It's just on the bottom of that 2-tier slope and there's multiple different breaks.
In the airport then.
You can see Paul O'Hara's actually taken a step ahead of the field. He now has a 2-shot lead at the top of the leaderboard over Greg Hutchinson. Greg is 1 over for his round so far and Paul is 3 under, so the momentum has definitely changed there since yesterday. Now, Paul did of course win this championship in 2017. He has already won on the Tartan Pro Tour this year, and he is part of the playoffs as well. So if he was to win here today, he would win both the playoffs and the main PGA Professional Championship trophy. As well as taking home the £10,000 first prize, he would also win a spot into the BMW PGA at Wentworth this year. Now the next group who'll be coming through this hole is the group 10, and it's the 9:35 AM tee time of Brian Jr. McCormack, Oliver Bettis and Andrew Robinson. Now all of this group are significantly over par, so I think a closing birdie here would really cheer them up and make their lunch taste a little bit better. The sun has just come out here after a little dip, and it's definitely got a lot warmer. Finally managed to take my extra jumper off, but there still is a little bit of breeze down here, so definitely making for an interesting challenge for the players. I would say the scores are significantly higher today than we have seen earlier in the week. This is a 72 hole event though, so I guess there is a little bit of fatigue setting in too. So far the score of the day is coming in from Nicholas Cunningham. Now he is not part of the main PGA Professional Championship, but he is in the playoffs. So as he moves his way up that leaderboard, he's looking to grab spots on both the European Tour and the Challenge Tour for this season. So the par 4 18th is currently playing as the second hardest hole on the golf course and averaging just over par at 4.16 on average. There's only been 18 birdies here all week, 39 bogeys and 3 doubles. So the leaders are going to want a little bit of a buffer before they go into this hole, or to make sure that their partner doesn't make a closing birdie here and pip them out of the title. The leaders are currently sitting on the front 9 with the back 9 yet to tackle. They've just gone through the 7th, and yet they have the tricky holes to come, such as the long par 3 14th, which is playing over 200 yards, and of course the 18th here, which is one of the hardest par 4s. The wind is picking up, so it's going to be an interesting challenge on the back 9, and I do expect the leaderboard to move around a little bit. In the main championship, it is Alex Wrigley that's making the biggest move up the leaderboard. He is currently 4 under par for his day. I think there must have been a fair bit of golf ball searching going on in this group. The best score in this group is currently 5 over par. There's definitely a lot of hazards around this course if you don't stay on the fairways. It's easily doable to rack up a high score. Talking about place of play, the first group out today were actually in a 2-ball, teed off at 8 AM and ran round the course in just under 3 hours, which was very impressive. I was very surprised when I saw them appear over the hill on the 18th when we were setting up earlier. So for those of you who are familiar with the course here at Vergowrie, it was actually designed by Peter Allis and Dave Thomas. Now, one of the biggest challenges is the swathes of pine and silver birch trees you can see down the back side of both fairways here. Now, an extra hazard on this hole that's if you miss it on the left side of the fairway, you are going to be blocked out with those trees, so you're going to have to either shape it round them or go over the top, which definitely makes the approach a little bit more tricky. Now it looks like a few of the players here have made that mistake and they are blocked out on the left side. It looks like Brian has played first here, but he's had to chip out sideways out of the trees, so he will have to play his approach, but that will be his third shot of this hole. I don't envy the shot he's going to have from there. It's going to be very quick down the green. And he's got that two-tier area to work with that stops just before the pin. That's just made it onto the front edge. Not a bad miss at all from where he was. He probably couldn't take it all the way over the trees because he was quite close to them. Let's see how Andrew Robinson gets on now. It's straight on line, but looks like it needs to go a little. At least his playing partner's going to be able to give him a read up the green there. All the players I've seen putting from that spot so far have missed it low side, so he's going to need to make sure he gives this enough break. Now Andrew Robinson, who just played into the green, is from Felixstowe Ferry Golf Club, and he actually won the 2021 PGA Professional Championship East qualifier to book his spot in the championship this week. So it is Brian that's just run through the back of the green here. Now he is already there in 3 after having chipped out from the trees, so it's going to be a really good result for him here if he can actually get up and down here for bogey. Now what makes this shot trickier for Brian here is it has just run back off the fringe into the slightly thicker rough. He's also on a downslope and playing straight downhill down the green. It's going to be hard to get this to stop, but I think the biggest mistake would be to leave this at the top of the slope, which would leave him a very fast putt down the green. Tried to play this left and use the break of that slope, and the line is really good. As you can see, it was fast down that hill though, and he would have struggled to get it much closer than that. That is a very good miss though, and he's going to have a pretty straight putt back up the green. Next to play is going to be Oliver Bettis. Again missing on that low side. All players have been reading that putt wrong this afternoon. Let's see if Andrew Robinson learned anything from that and can get it a little bit nearer. Line looks better, but I'm not sure he's hit it. Yeah, that's a really good up and down from where he was. You can see that with his little fist pump, he was definitely happy there. It's very unusual to see the pin back in for such a short putt, especially from the pros. And that's a disappointing way to end. Definitely a story of two halves there today, though, for Andrew. Went out in 46 and has come back in 37. Now next up we have group number 11, their 9:40am tee time, and Nicholas Cunningham is part of this group and he currently has the lowest score of the day, going his 6 under par through his first 16 holes. Now he is not part of the main PGA Championship, he is playing as part of the PGA playoffs and looking to secure places on both the Challenge Tour and the European Tour for a wide amount of events, and one of them is the BMW PGA at Wentworth, which obviously everyone would love to win a spot to. Now, the rest of his group includes Simon Thornton and Andrew Wiley. Now, they are in both the PGA Championship and the playoffs, so a little bit more to play for them too. If you're not already, make sure you're following the PGA on social media. They'll keep posting updates throughout the day of the live leaderboards, and make sure you see how your local PGA professional is getting on in the championship today. We can see again the gap at the top of the leaderboard has narrowed to just one shot now. Greg Hutchin has made a birdie, moved back to level par for the day, and he is now 16 under and just one behind Paul O'Hara. It's going to be interesting to see how close it gets and if we will end up with a playoff at the end of the day or not. We've had lovely weather this week for the PGA Professionals Championship here at Blairgowrie. I would like to say it's typical Scottish weather, but it's definitely a little bit warmer than I was expecting. I even managed to get my shorts on some day. You can see it's still really sunny today. The wind is starting to pick up though, and it's definitely going to play havoc on the back nine here. Going to definitely be some interesting conditions for the leaders to challenge with, especially because we've got a slightly different wind direction today, so it's not what they've been used to throughout the rest of the week. So the next group that's about to come through have got quite a few winning streaks in it. Andrew Wiley won the 2018 PGA Professional Championship, which was played at Little Aston. Simon Thornton actually began his professional career as the assistant pro at Royal County Down, and he won on the European Tour in 2013, as well as having wins on the Challenge Tour. In PGA events, he has a record of doing really well. He won the Irish PGA Championship and the Southern PGA Championship in 2018. I'm now with Tristan Crew, MBE, who is the Executive Director of Membership at the PGA. Now, could you just talk to me through how you think the championship's gone this week?
Oh, it's been excellent, Hannah. Really good. I mean, it never fails to amaze me when I see these guys play, how well they can strike a ball, and you know, this wonderful venue to come to in Scotland here to come and play, and you know, the scores that they're posting have been absolutely phenomenal.
Well, yeah, this is taunted as one of the trickier courses here, and the scoring, as you mentioned, has been exceptional this week. Just how good has this been as a championship venue for you?
Absolutely incredible venue. I've spoken to the majority of the players today on the first tee as they were going through, and they were just saying, all of them to a man, but pretty much saying how fantastic the venue is. You know, this Lansdowne course Not being the championship course with the Rosemont across the way, but I get the impression this is even tougher than the Rosemont. And but the course has turned out in absolutely fantastic condition. The fairways are running well, the greens are receptive, and so it allows them to score really well. It's been an absolute perfect venue for us in the PGA.
Yeah, we've definitely seen it's played a little bit trickier today as the winds picked up. Now, overall, what do you think is the advantage of having kind of separate PGA events for these PGA professionals working in clubs?
Yeah, I mean, we run an extensive programme of events, the schedule, which is at the PGA at regional level, over 400 tournaments, and of course at county level as well, another 400 tournaments. So we provide a great opportunity for these pros to play. And it's difficult to find places to play as a professional, and it's one of our biggest member services that we offer. There's no doubt about it. An ability for them to come together and compete. You can imagine as a PGA pro, the role is quite isolating, and it's quite nice for them to come together in venues such as this. And this is our flagship event. This is the main event of the season. Unfortunately, had to combine it with the playoffs this time, which makes it a little bit more, I suppose, but much more to play for as far as the event's concerned today. But lots at stake for other places and other tournaments as well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting with Paul leading both sections at the moment, and we'll just see how that progresses for the rest of the day. Now, as you said, we've got two tournaments combined here, but what do you think the future is for this tournament? Do you think it'll stay like that, or do you think anything will change in the future? I
mean, we've been forced down this route because of COVID, and the likelihood is, it gives us a chance to have a look at this as a format. But I think that I think it's more likely that perhaps we'll separate into the future and go back to where it was. It's a lot on one tournament. It's an awful lot riding on it. If you're having a bad week, then you're you're giving up all your opportunity across the other venues and other areas that we have, and the places at the other tournaments. So I think I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and we'll do a bit of a wash up, and we'll find out how it's all gone, and have a look into it and see where we'll go into the future. Sadly, because of COVID, we had to do this. We'd normally do the playoffs in Turkey in November, and because of obviously the no international travel, we've had to put them together into one tournament. But it'd be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Well, I think if Paul wins today, he might be twisting you around to keep it the same in the future if he takes both titles home. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to switch back now to the 18th green as we catch more of the groups coming through this final hole. Now, Nicholas Cunningham has just birded the 17th to go to 7 under par for his day. If he could hole out from the fairway for an eagle, he would tie the course record we saw from Toby Hunt on the first round this week, and that was set at 9 under par. It's a tough ask, but definitely worth a shot. Looks like Andrew Well is going to be first up to play here. He is sitting at 1 under par for his round so far today. That is a really nice shot, one of the best we've seen so far into this green. It's going to be quite a bit of a curler from there though, because it is just on the bottom of that 2-tier slope here. Looks like Simon Thornton's going to be next to play in the black top from the left side of our shot here. Looks slightly long of the pin and potentially left. It's just bounced off that slope on the side of the green and gone over that ridge. Should be a fairly simple chip, but not too much green to work with, so it's going to have to be quite delicate with the chip. Right, finally we've got Nicholas Cunningham. Can he hold this to match the course record? Starting out quite a long way right, and it's not drawing back in. It's hit the slope and moved a little bit in towards the pin, but it's going to leave him a fairly long putt to see if he can go for 3 birdies in a row and finish on 8 under par for his round. Nicholas looking a little bit disappointed that his ball didn't run round on the slope more there. It is a brave shot to try and use that 2-tier to bring the ball back nearer the hole, because you can just run through and end up on the top, and as we've seen, it's very quick to back down that slope. The putt could be tricky from where he is though, because I think to get close he's going to have to go up the side of the 2-tier, so there could be some severe side bend on that. Such a great chip from there. One of the best looks we've seen at birdie all day, and he wasn't even on the green. Taking a good look at this one, and I'm not surprised this is going to move a lot, and it could also potentially be very quick in that last section as it comes off the 2-tier. The mistake here would actually be to leave it too far short, because even though you don't want to run too far past, the putt coming back is a lot straighter and it is uphill. Oh, what a great putt. And a absolutely fantastic closing round of 8 under par, which has fired him massively up the PGA Playoffs leaderboard into 3rd position. He isn't part of the main championship, but coming 3rd in the playoffs is going to give him a really good opportunity to get in some European Tour and Challenge Tour events later in the year. Just have to settle for a closing par there for Andrew. Yeah, really good up and down there for Simon. He finishes his round on 1 under par for the day and 4 under for the tournament. We're just going to head for a short break, but we'll be back later on the 18th green at 3 p.m. to see the leaders come through the final green and see who picks up the trophy. Will it be Paul O'Hara who holds on to that lead and takes home both the PGA Professional Championship and the playoffs title? We'll be back here at 3 p.m. to find out, and we also follow it with the trophy presentation after. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.